Hello, my name is Dustin Gersonfield, and my presentation is on the Microsoft Azure platform and its SQL database tool. I will be giving a brief overview to Azure and cloud computing, and then we'll give a quick demo on how to create an Azure SQL database, along with steps on how to connect it to the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. To start off, Microsoft Azure is a cloud-based tool that contains applications, networking, and database tools that are accessible from anywhere in the world via the internet. Organizations are able to subscribe to Azure and its various tools to implement as a part of their local computing infrastructure. Cloud computing is a new term in computing, but is defined as an on-demand access to applications, storage, databases, and other tools that are hosted at a remote data center and managed by a cloud service provider such as Microsoft. This allows organizations to reduce on-site costs by eliminating the need for server management and equipment. The Microsoft Azure SQL Database is a platform as a service tool that allows users to create a database that is hosted in a cloud and can be deployed and connected to other applications or clients within the local computing network in the organization. The Azure SQL Database operates like any other database, it just lives in the cloud. Let's look at the steps on how to create an Azure SQL database. I'll first go to the Azure Platform portal, which is this page here, and we're going to click on the SQL databases and click the Create button. Here you'll see you have several configuration options. So I'm going to give a sample database name here. We'll just do Dustin test for the purposes of the video. You also have the option to create a server. You see that it already has a server name here, because in my previous configuration, I created a server and location along with credentials so I can access the server. You have the option of choosing different configurations for the computing and service. It automatically defaults to general purpose, which is a scalable compute and storage option. For this purpose, I'm just going to use basic for the purposes of this video, but there's a lot of options that are available. We'll move on to the networking tab, and this is where we can set firewall rules as well as private endpoints and connection policies. The only thing here that I want to double check is the TLS version, which is 1.2, which is the most recent and secure. The security tab here allows us to choose some additional configurations, but I'm going to leave the default settings. For the additional settings tab, we can choose the data source. For the purposes of this presentation, I'm going to choose sample. So we can have some sample data in that database. And then here, this allows me to review the configuration that I defined, as well as the estimated cost per month for this particular database. So now I'm going to go to my remote computer and we'll configure our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio tool to be able to access this server. So you see here, I've already pre-populated the server name here. The authentication is SQL Server, and we've got my username, so I'm just going to type in my password and allow it to connect. And you'll see here in the Object Explorer that we have my CS213 final project database. And within the tables, there are some sample tables that came over as a part of the Azure tool. So I'm just going to do new query. It's already defined my table there, so we'll just do a quick select statement, t.product from, and we can execute our query, and you'll see we have some sample data within our database. So this has been my presentation on the Microsoft Azure platform and the SQL database tool and how to connect it to the SQL Management Studio. Thank you for watching.